It's time for Cookies and Crime. This is the case of Bert Poogesh and Linda Riss. Bert was born April 20th, 1927. He was a New York lawyer who made a fortune handing his business card to accident victims. In 1959, he started dating 21-year-old Linda Riss. He was about 32. Linda was a beautiful young girl who was a quote-unquote good girl who was saving herself for marriage. Bert showered her with his money by buying her gifts and taking her to fancy nightclubs, things that would typically impress a young adult. But when she learned that he was already married with a child, she dumped him, and Bert did not take this well. He was obsessed with her and threatened to kill or hurt her if she left him. He even threatened her with the cliche, "If I can't have you, no one else will have you, and when I get through with you, no one else will want you." Linda reported his threat to the New York Police Department, but they didn't do anything about it. Eventually, Linda moves on and gets engaged to Larry Schwartz. Bert, who was still obsessed with her, would not let this happen. Bert hired 3 assailants to attack Linda, and they threw lye right in her face. Lye is what we use in soap, but in its purest form, it is dangerous, just like acid. Linda's face was badly disfigured, and it made her partially blind. It didn't take very long to realize that Bert was behind this. So he was disbarred as a lawyer, and he was convicted of the crime and spent 14 years in prison. And while he was in there, he never forgot about Linda and wrote to her constantly. And he also got what he wanted. Linda was no longer engaged to Larry. And because of her disfigurement, she had a hard time finding love. And all of this alone would be a crazy story. But it gets even crazier. When Bert was released from prison in 1974, he looked Linda up. And just like that, she took him back, and they got married. In 1976, they ended up writing a book together called A Very Different Love Story. Then in 1997, history repeated itself when Bert cheated on Linda, and he ended up threatening that woman. This time, that threat went to court, and Linda had to appear at his trial as a character witness. They stayed together until Linda's death of heart failure on January 22, 2013. 7 years later, Bert died on December 24, 2020 in Queens. When he died, he left his $15 million estate to his married caregiver. But the funds were frozen by a judge because Sheila, the caregiver, was accused of making Bert change his will after he suffered a stroke. Apparently, after the will was changed, she withdrew food and medicine from her patient until he died. Some of that money was supposed to go to a foundation for the visually impaired that he had set up in his late wife's honor. But when she changed the will last minute, she would be the full receiver of all that money. Now, I'm not sure who ended up with the money or if it was split, but it's safe to say that Bert created a lot of pain, even after his death.